occasional.
Will you abolish the House of Lords, and will it be in your first term?
Yes, we do want to abolish the House of Lords. I don't think anybody can defend the House of Lords.
You said you were going to abolish the House of Lords. Well, are you not now going to abolish the House?
I've said we need to change the House of Lords. I stand by that.
You chose change. What arrived was chaos. Keir Starmer pledged honesty, stability, and integrity, yet instead Britain received U-turns, secretive bargains, and a Prime Minister who talks in riddles within only a few short weeks. Labour has wasted more trust than the Conservatives managed in an entire year, and now predators are already circling. But this isn't merely policy failure. This cuts much deeper. It's the breakdown of credibility, unfolding before our eyes. So the real question remains, is Starmer doing this deliberately? Let's
go straight over now to the political correspondent of The Sun, Martina Bett. Welcome, Martina.
Good morning, Kevin.
Well, look, let's talk about your colleague, Harry Cole. He's written his excellent column in The Sun this morning, and his headline is "Flip-flop PM is all at sea as sharks circle." Taxes look like they may have to go up to fund a backtrack, a U-turn on benefit policy generally. Looks like they want to at least reinstate most of the winter fuel allowance. They're also going to cut back on the benefit cuts that Rachel Reeves wanted to make, the Chancellor. They're having to do this because the left of the Labour Party are complaining. But it just makes the Prime Minister look like a man of straw who just blows with the wind. Whatever you want, I can do it. As Harry says, you know, those are my principles. And if you don't like them, well, I have others. That sums Keir Starmer up. You never quite know what he stands for. But basically what he really stands for is I'll do anything to stay in power.
That's right. That's how Harry put it in his brilliant column today. You know, he dubbed Keir Starmer the Groucho Marx Prime Minister. And as you said, you know, he goes, these are my principles, and if you don't like them, well, I have others. And, you know, I think that's exactly the problem. And we've seen with this U-turn on winter fuel, you know, where first Labour threatened to take away the payment from 10 million pensioners, then backed off, basically has managed to alienate everyone. You know, they've taken the political hit, burned the public trust, and now won't even get the savings or the market credibility that they were aiming for, as Harry put it. So, you know, it's self-sabotage. It's quite a pattern, actually, because as Harry, again, put it, you know, there's a long list of Labour.
So, you've just heard it. Labour suggested removing winter fuel payments, then suddenly reversed course. But let's not act like this was some harmless mistake. This was deliberate. Starmer's circle wanted to measure how much hardship they could impose on pensioners before public anger erupted. And only when backlash came, did he finally blink. But this isn't new. He once pledged public ownership of energy and rail, both abandoned. He vowed to eliminate tuition fees, promise discarded. He stood with Black Lives Matter, then swiftly retreated. Flip after flop. Betrayal again. And the cycle.
I think you have already talked about raising taxes on the top 5%. How much would you raise it by?
I've said that we should raise tax for those that have more.
Income tax, would it go up under a Labour government?
And then
national insurance?
No, I don't want income tax to go up under a...
I don't want income tax rising under a Labour government. The trend is obvious. Starmer will sacrifice anyone. Pensioners, students, minorities, unions, if it earns him another headline. This isn't one isolated U-turn. This is a Prime Minister ruling by chasing polls instead of standing by principles. And whenever he changes direction, he isn't correcting errors. He is revealing exactly whose interests he serves, and it certainly isn't yours. Before we continue, let us know. Are you enjoying this video? If yes, don't forget to like and share. And remember to subscribe to our channel for more exclusive updates on the...
Because I think you were discussing this earlier with your previous guest, Simon, that it's a credibility crisis because, you know, now that they're looking at reversing with this winter fuel cut and then the child benefit, that could be a 5 billion hole in the public finances. And we know that the public finances are not going that well. Borrowing went up last week. So she's got very little choice but to hike taxes. So it's very difficult to see how Keir Starmer will still have Rachel Reeves as his chancellor by the time of the autumn budget.
Now they insist there's a £5 billion gap in the budget. But don't be misled into thinking Rachel Reeves is the real issue. The real problem is the man constantly throwing his own chancellor under the bus. Starmer lets her announce the cuts, stands by as she absorbs the anger, then acts surprised when the whole plan collapses. And where does it finish? With quiet tax increases. Not the sort the wealthy will ever notice, but the kind you already feel this very month. HMRC was ordered to expand audits targeting self-employed workers and small businesses. Starmer won't impose heavy taxes on oil giants, yet he'll pursue your side hustle instead. He swore no tax hikes for working families, yet here he is creating new schemes to drain every remaining pound from Britain's struggling middle class.
If you vote against children getting free school meals, you're not going to find the solution to millions of children growing up in poverty. But on free school meals, a number of boroughs, Wales of course, and the Mayor do provide free school meals. It's a healthy debate in the Labour Party. We think that breakfast clubs, which is where all children at primary school have the chance to come in for support and for food before school, is the way forward. It's a healthy debate, but you know...
That isn't fiscal discipline, it's outright fiscal betrayal. And Rachel Reeves isn't directing the effort, she's the human shield, the cover Starmer uses to protect himself while the real damage is quietly carried out behind.
Exactly right. And Andrew Neil wrote in the Mail over the weekend, and we're going to talk about, if we may, Martina, a kind of problem, I think, that this government is increasingly labouring with, if I can put it that way. He said that in 55 years of covering politics, almost as long as I have been, that he has never known a government, or indeed a prime minister, more prone to lying and gaslighting the public. That he said that in the past, in his illustrious career, you didn't go anywhere near suggesting that the Prime Minister ever lied or that senior politicians ever lied. And yet for Keir Starmer and his crew, it seems to be routine. He is not straight with us. This is a problem, isn't it? That anything he says, so when he says, yes, I will be, we're looking at the winter fuel allowance, and people misinterpret that as a U-turn. I'm not sure it is. We don't actually know what to expect from that statement, because you never know with this guy what the truth is. All he said was there'll definitely be some sort of announcement at the next fiscal event. I assume by that he means the budget. That's October. Going to be a bit late for the winter fuel allowance by then, if you think about it. But you never quite know what this guy means, whether he's telling the truth. Will this happen? Or is it just another headline hunting announcement?
Well, I think that's a real problem, because during the general election, and I followed Keir Starmer during the general election campaign, and he wasn't saying, he kept saying that taxes are not going up, but then in terms of public cuts that we knew were coming because we're already baked into the books, it would say that they wouldn't, that they would solve that by growing the economy. So they weren't really honest with the public then, and that.
Andrew Neil was correct. This isn't a harmless political spin. It's a calculated psychological operation. Starmer isn't missing the truth accidentally. He was trained to cloak words in vague emotions while dodging details. That's how Britain ended up with a prime minister who speaks endlessly yet says nothing at all. We're reviewing it. We'll announce later. We won't raise taxes, probably. Those aren't answers. They're mirrors, crafted to reflect whatever people want to hear at that moment. But here's the danger. He's relying on you not noticing. He's betting that by the time reality arrives, the harm is done and you're exhausted into silence. This isn't miscommunication. It's a premeditated deception. Angela Rayner may be circling, but she's not the storm, she's a symptom. The real crisis? Starmer has no believers left. The unions feel betrayed. The left purged. Constituency parties muted. Even his own shadow cabinet dodges interviews. Why? Because they've seen reality up close. They know this is a man who makes decisions at midnight, reverses them by dawn, and points fingers by lunch. Remember the Diane Abbott scandal? He abandoned Britain's most senior black MP, claimed it wasn't personal, then reversed himself yet again. If he can betray her, nobody is safe. Labour isn't functioning like a political party anymore. It's a hostage operation run with a PowerPoint deck. And when this ship eventually goes under, don't blame the sailors. Blame the captain who never revealed where the journey was heading in the first place. So what do you think? Can a man who changes positions daily ever be trusted with leading a nation? Tell us in the comments below. How long will citizens tolerate politicians lying straight to our faces, then blaming the system when exposed? If you'd like more content like this, remember to like, share, and subscribe for continuous updates on British politics and the changes unfolding right before our eyes. Until next time, stay tuned.